100 is a nice round number for a new... Hey everybody, welcome back to more Triangle Strategy. I'm SlayerMathis, and last time, Roland left the party because we sided with Benedict, and this time, we will be beginning our siding with Esfrost. So let's just hop right in.
I wish I had never learned of my truth. I was happy being Serenoa Wolfort, son of Lord Simon and Lady Destra.
No matter whose blood runs through your veins, you are still yourself.
But now Roland is gone. Someone's coming.
It looks like Benedict.
I am in no mood to speak with him. Let us...
Lord Simon, Lady Destra, today I revealed the truth of Lord Serenoa's birth and drove Prince Roland from the city. Lord Serenoa will be crowned the king of all Glenbrook, but this is merely the first step of many. We will use the salt crystals to ally ourselves with Esfrost and defeat Hyzant. I will see to it that Lord Serenoa becomes the undisputed ruler of all Norzelia. He has the strength and character worthy of sitting atop this realm, and I shall carve that path to the summit for him. He did not wish for the position, nor this power. But no matter how much he resents me, I will ensure his success. He shares your blood, Lady Destra, and as such, I refuse to see him at the mercy of others again.
Why would you go so far?
Lord Simon, you were a lord worthy of my life's devotion. You were an equal to King Regna in every way. You could have sat upon the throne, and yet... You resigned yourself to life as a vassal, and took in Lady Destra at your liege's request. You two treated Lady Destra and Lord Serenoa as if they were no more than pawns to be traded about. Back then, I could not forgive you, or King Regna. Lady Destra, even now, I find it hard to forgive myself for being unable to save you. Which is why I will make Lord Serenoa a greater ruler than his father or King Regna could ever be. This is my revenge against myself for being so powerless then. I will not repent. I will devote my life to atoning for my incompetence.
Benedict cared very deeply for Lady Destra.
No amount of regret will change the past. We have no way to go but forward.
My lord, how did the nobles take the news?
They were surprised to hear of Roland's disappearance, as well as of my lineage and intention to ascend the throne. But there was not nearly as much contempt or disorder as I had anticipated.
I also explained that it was King Roland's own decision to abdicate, once he learned the truth.
I think it may have been the royal signet that kept them so composed. They took it as proof that King Regna deemed Serenoa a worthy successor.
Even if they had objections in their heart, they could not act upon them. There is not a soul in Glenbrook who can deny the might and exploits of House Wolford. Princess Cordelia would have been their sole chance to challenge his ascension, but she is already within our hands.
Be that as it may, the people must see it as such. I will not be able to get their support should they think I usurped the throne.
Precisely.
In any case, it's hard to believe our young lord's truly the King of Glenbrook.
I never coveted this throne. But we have chosen to ally ourselves with Esfrost and have driven Roland away. I shan't run from my responsibilities any longer. I will take up the mantle of king to serve both Glenbrook and House Wolford.
A fine resolve, Your Majesty. We stand with you now, as we always have.
Thank you. Benedict, prepare for my ascension and our negotiations with Esfrost.
Yes, Your Majesty. I will also continue working on our plans for Hyzant.
We cannot afford to lose this battle. Do what you must.
As you command.
Several days later, Serenoa announces that he is the son of the late King Regna, and that Roland, having learned the truth, has abdicated the throne. All suspect that there is more behind the announcement, but House Wolford has the support of many in the capital city, and so they accept his words. Thus, Serenoa Wolford takes the throne as the new King of Glenbrook. The joining of House Wolford and the Kingdom of Glenbrook is yet another twist in the ever-turning narrative of Norzelia. One which Hyzant and Esfrost look on with ever-wary eyes.
One thing I gotta say is that I do not like Benedict as a person. As a character, he's fantastic, but good lord is he slimy, and I do not like him. I do not trust Benedict at all. But that's just personal thing. So, yeah.
I see everyone is here. What might this sudden meeting be about?
Minister Tenebris, you kept us waiting.
Ah, my apologies.
You were all summoned here to discuss the recent political changes in Glenbrook.
King Roland has conceded the throne to Minister Serenoa. Apparently the two are half-brothers.
What? So, this was not a hearing of my crimes.
Do you know something about this, Minister Tenebris?
No. What will become of Glenbrook?
There are rumors that King Roland has absconded, but the people seem oddly composed about the change of power.
Is this not a joyous occasion? With Minister Serenoa on the throne, Glenbrook becomes a vassal nation of Hyzant.
Not quite. We had intended to use Minister Serenoa to pressure King Roland into giving him control over the Grand Norzelian mines. But now he has both the salt crystal veins and the entire kingdom of Glenbrook in his hands. Our window of opportunity has closed.
Precisely. Any attempt to likewise pressure Minister Serenoa may result in us losing more than we bargained for.
He did not strike me as the sort of man to bite the hand that feeds.
He usurped the throne from his own master. We cannot afford to let our guards down.
Indeed.
Hear the Holy One's words. We must be wary of House Wolford. We will summon Minister Exham and his forces back to the city to protect our people.
Understood. I will dispatch a bird to him at once.
I will have our spies in Glenbrook discern Wolfort's true intentions.
We must get our hands on those salt crystals. If House Wolfort dares disobey the goddess, they must be exterminated at once.
This is my chance. If I can bring glory to Hyzant and restore my name, soon I will be.
So Hyzant remains unaware of the plan to side with Frost. The other thing I should mention, just in general story, having a ring as proof of lineage and that being accepted is really dumb. What's stopping like Travis and Trish from taking it and saying, "Hey, I'm actually the ruler. See, I got the ring." It's weird, but whatever. It's fine. Let's see what Frost has to think about the new goings-on in Glenbrook.
I did not foresee Serenoa becoming king of Glenbrook. What became of the abdicated King Roland?
Official reports say he left the capital to live a life of seclusion. But rumor has it that he absconded after losing a duel to Lord Serenoa.
Roland concealed his identity and fought hard to reclaim his kingdom. He would not so easily relinquish the throne. The rumors are likely closer to the truth than the reports.
So House Wolfort usurped the throne.
I did not take Serenoa for a man who had cast off the shackles of servitude by force. How fascinating it would be if the caged hawk broke free to soar the skies.
Without Prince Roland around, there is hope yet of restoring our relations with Glenbrook. Perhaps we could ask Lady Frederica to help us negotiate.
Glenbrook holds the salt crystal veins in their hands. No amount of negotiations would end in our favor. A bird that has flown the coop must be shot down. Whether they perish or return to a cage is up to them.
King Serenoa invites Archduke Gustadolph to Glenbrook in hopes of securing an alliance with the duchy. Gustadolph accepts the secret invitation and makes his way to Whiteholm Castle. However, the salt crystal deposits uncovered in the Grand Norzelian mines are currently in the hands of Serenoa. A meeting between the two great rulers comes with equally great risk.
What is the meaning of this, Lord Benedict?
It is as I said. The Kingdom of Glenbrook will cease all business with the Norzelia Consortium. The related parties should leave Glenbrook immediately, and any assets remaining shall be seized by the Kingdom.
This is madness. Not only will you cut your ties with Hyzant, but the Consortium as well? How do you intend to get your salt now?
You needn't worry about that.
So it's true. Glenbrook has mined salt crystals from deep beneath the earth.
It is no business of the Consortium's.
You dare slight us after all we've done for Norzelia? The post-war accord said that someone must ensure the fair distribution of salt, and so we did.
And we appreciate all your efforts. However, King Serenoa has no need for the Consortium in Glenbrook.
The nerve of you people. Hyzant will never forgive such insolence.
Save your tears for the long road back home. The Consortium was only ever good for lining its own pockets. which is far from fair as I see it.
I see now. House Wolfort wishes to see the Consortium eliminated in its entirety. In that case, I will return to Hyzant as you said and report this outrage.
Was it right to provoke him? Claris may use his underground connections to stop us.
That was my intention. He will now bring disorder to Hyzant's unity. More importantly, the new Norzelia truly has no need for the Consortium and its control over salt's distribution.
The new Norzelia.
The world King Serenoa would rule. I have formulated a plan to bring about that new age. But first, our negotiations with Gustadolph must succeed.
Sir, Archduke Gustadolph's ship will be arriving any minute now.
Thank you. The outcome of our negotiations hinges on King Serenoa's decision. I must speak with him, alone. The Archduke will be here shortly.
Thank you. Our future rests on these negotiations, doesn't it?
Have you read The Power of Salt?
I have. Lord Dragan gave it to us before he died. It contains all he gleaned in his research on salt. I thought it might give us a clue as to how we can convince Archduke Gustadolph to aid us. I understand now just how much potential salt possesses.
Indeed, it is not merely a seasoning for food. We have control over the salt crystal veins. We can use this to our advantage during negotiations.
But this is Gustadolph we're dealing with. Pressure and intimidation will only cause him to bare his fangs. Negotiate poorly, and we will end up swallowed by the duchy in the name of Gustadolph's freedom. What do you think we should do, Benedict?
Before I answer, I would know one thing. Is it your desire to monopolize the salt crystals, Your Majesty?
I have no desire to do so. That would make us no different than Hyzant. And seeing as Gustadolph sought to break the Holy State's monopoly, I doubt he would ally with us.
But we will merely be used as pawns should we give him the salt crystals.
I have no intention of doing that either. Lord Dragan's answers shall guide us. I will use the salt to bring about a free and prosperous Norzelia, greater even than Gustadolph could. If I can prove that to him, I am certain he would join our cause.
Precisely. You prove time and again you are worthy to stand atop the summit of Norzelia. I have a befitting strategy in mind. Lord Serenoa, would you allow me to negotiate with the Archduke?
Very well. We must have him on our side.
And we shall.
Most intriguing. You once refused to bend the knee to me at this very spot, and now seek an alliance as King of Glenbrook.
I could not have foreseen this moment either back then. Nor that you would have your own cousin slain after discovering the salt crystal veins.
I hope you aren't expecting an apology. Have we not usurped the same throne?
I have not asked you here to discuss the past, but the future. I am certain you understand that taking on Hyzant alone is a fool's errand. We must unite if we are to stand a chance.
And you expect me to believe that one of the Saintly Seven wishes to defeat the Holy State itself?
We must prevent Hyzant from gaining complete control over Salt and consequently Norzelia. I even parted from a dear friend over it.
I see. I have no objections to overthrowing Hyzant.
Then let us begin the negotiations.
Silence. I am here to speak with King Serenoa, not his servant.
I have given Benedict full rights to be here. Consider his words my own.
So the bird did not break free after all. His vassal opened the cage door. Very well then. But allow me to make this clear. If you wish for an alliance, you will give me the Salt Crystal Veins. They belong to Esfrost for having discovered them in the first place.
We cannot do that.
Then we have nothing to discuss.
Pray answer me this, Archduke. What do you intend to do with the salt?
People need salt to live. But here in Norzelia, it is owned entirely by Hyzant and the Consortium. Their high taxes make it nearly impossible for some to obtain. Once I defeat Hyzant, I will abolish both that abhorrent Consortium and its taxes, and allow free trade throughout the land. I would ensure that any who desire salt receive their fair share of it.
That would make you the only one with control over salt. It is no different than Hyzant now.
I do not covet riches like they do. Under my rule, the people would have salt. They would finally have freedom. This is the only future before us.
I beg to differ. We intend to make salt available to all. Anyone will be able to obtain as much as they like for a modest price.
You would put control of salt in the hands of the people? To what end?
To change the world with the potential residing within every grain of salt. For example, preserving foods with salt would make life and trade more prosperous than ever before. Using salt in leather and glass crafting could create newer and better goods. Farmers could give it to their livestock, and it could also be used in various medicines. It can even be used in explosives.
How do you know about that?
These are but a handful of examples. If we give the people access to salt, there is no telling how many other uses they may find. Norzelia will enter a golden age of prosperity, and her people will thrive like never before.
I did not take you for an idealist. I think we both know that the people lack the intelligence for innovation.
They just haven't been afforded the chance, but with the proper mechanisms in place, they can be taught. I have already started work on a plan to make salt available over the course of several years.
Do not underestimate the people's greed. It won't be long before they turn on their rulers, intoxicated by the power of salt.
The very nation you sought to defeat feared the same, and sought to control them with their goddess's might.
Archduke Gustadolph, I do not fear a free people. I wish to lead them, but will fight if I must. That is why I took this throne. I believe anyone who wishes to rule the new Norzelia should be prepared to do the same.
Tell me this. How did you know salt possesses such potential?
And I would ask you in return, were you unaware of it yourself? It was all written in a book Lord Dragan gave us.
It is the result of his extensive research at the Esfrosti archives.
Dragan. You mean to say it was the knowledge of one of my own? Had I made him Prime Minister, our positions would be reversed. So this is my punishment for seeing him killed. Very well. Consider me interested in the future House Wolfort sees for this world. As the Archduke of Esfrost, I hereby swear my allegiance to your cause.
You have our thanks, Archduke Gustadolph.
It is only a matter of time until Hyzant realizes what we are planning. Let us proceed to the War Council.
Lead the way. Glenbrook and Esfrost have entered into an alliance. You and I are enemies no longer.
I am glad to hear it. Thank you for joining our cause.
Together, we will strike down Hyzant, for the Roselle as well. I am sure your mother would have been happy to hear it.
Indeed.
Frederica, do you resent me for attacking House Wolfort?
I have come to an understanding of what you hoped to accomplish. Your duties as Archduke outweigh your personal desires.
Precisely. I have no regrets for what I've done.
Neither do I regret standing against you, or slaying Erica and Thalis. Not because I harbor personal grudges against any of you, but because my eyes must look not to the past, but to the future.
King Serenoa said the same earlier.
It should come as no surprise, Archduke Gustadolph. He and I walk the same path, hand in hand.
You've grown strong, Frederica.
The Kingdom of Glenbrook and the Duchy of Esfrost enter an alliance. Their combined forces led by Serenoa. Together, they set out to strike down the holy state of Hyzant. Sensing their movements, the desert nation summons Exham soldiers home from their march on the Grand Norzellian mines to prepare for the arrival of the Allied forces. Though the walls around the holy state have kept it safe for many years, it is now up to Benedict to discern how best to penetrate the goddess's shield.
I still do not trust Benedict at all. He's basically puppeting Serenoa for his own gains, but whatever, this is the path we've chosen. And we continue that path next time. So until then, see you guys later.